On this episode of AV Week, we take a look at the annual AVIXA award winners. Steve Durkee takes over as the president of Legrand AV and designing your campuses, whether or not they're opening up or doing everything online. All that and more next on AV Week.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is AV Week, episode 457, recorded Friday, May 22nd, 2020. Certain uncertainty.
Support for AVNation is brought to you by Atlas IED, innovative audio solutions for every business environment. And by FSR. And by
Just Add Power, the global leader in video over IP solutions with systems that give you easy installation, unmatched scalability, and outstanding performance.
This is AV Week, your weekly wrap-up of audio-visual news and information. My name is Tim Albright. I am your host. With us to discuss the news and information this week. I used to call him the left-hand side of my brain. I'm not sure if he wants that insult anymore. But his name is George Tucker. And how are you, sir?
I'm glad to be here. Great to see everybody on this holiday weekend.
Absolutely. And George comes to us from Yonkers. Dawn Mead, also a member of the AVNation team. Can't tell you where she works, but she is somewhere in the Maryland, D.C. area. How are you, madam?
Very good, thank you. And if you're trying to guess where I work, that's a big clue.
But there's a lot of companies there. I mean, you could work for AVIXA for crying out loud. I mean, you don't,
Well,
but
but I could
the
tell you
NRA.
if I worked for AVIXA.
Dawn works for the NRA. There we go.
Yeah.
Last but not least, she doesn't. It was a joke. Todd Hutchins, new guy here from USIS. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Say new guy. Tucker and him go way back, so I'm kind of the odd man out here. So we're doing something different this week. If you're not watching the video, and you've ever wondered, this is how the actual background of the new studios. So we're in the process of soundproofing, and so they took down my green screen, and I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. So I might keep it this way. We do have carpenters kind of building an actual set, so the green screen may be going away for a while. First story actually comes to us from our website. Steve Durkee is the new president of Legrand AV. Steve's been around Milestone. Well, he's been around Legrand, Milestone, and before that, Chief, for about 16 years. And he took over officially Monday of this. Legrand has gone through a pretty decent, significant evolution over the last 4 or 5 years. And I say Legrand, it's Legrand and Milestone and Chief. Those brands, not just the ones up in Minnesota, but also all of them that have kind of gotten put under that. Dawn, I'm going to start with you, both from the integrator standpoint, but also the end user. Shifts like this, what sort of things do you, as an end user, but also as a former integrator, look for when leadership change happens like this?
Well, I mean, you want to make sure from either side of the fence that there is a good continuity of their business going on when there's a significant shift, whether it's a new boss for the company or whether it's just a new leadership team or a new head of a particular sector or product. We're looking for just consistency in relationships. As I'm sure the integrators are freaking out and saying, oh my God, are our terms all going to be the same? Or are we still going to have access to everything? Is it still going to work the same way with this guy as opposed to that guy? From the end user front, we're a little bit more distant from that. So, might have our integrators freaking out on that point. But for us, as long as the company or the corporation is still providing the great quality services that we're looking for, changes like this, if they're executed well, sort of don't hit in our world. We still get our products. We still get them easily. And, it's when they come in and start changing everything from the name of the company to how they deal with their integrators, that things get a little problematic. I'm not looking at anyone in particular, especially not in Texas. But
they changed it back from Tanja.
I know they did, but at that time I was an integrator and it was very traumatic.
Tip of the spear.
you know, I'm sure it was traumatic for our end users. I was an integrator then, and I'm sure our end users were like, no, we wanted an AMX panel. You gave me a Panja panel. But that bit of history notwithstanding, as long as there is the continuity in branding, in business, and in follow through, as an end user, it doesn't really hit home for us.
Mr. Tucker, Don hit on when we got the chance to talk to him on Monday, and that is the consistency of leadership, right? He has been with Scott Gale for 16 years. Steve made the point of saying that he and Scott were hired 2 weeks separate from each other, so 2 weeks apart. They are, two peas in a pod, obviously, because people are different in individuals, but they both kind of grown up in the industry together. They both grown up in the company together. Not a whole lot of change when it comes to leadership styles or management styles, but there is going to be a certain change when it comes to his focus, as well as is where he takes the company, not necessarily where he takes the company, but where his focus is and who he surrounds himself with to focus more on the residential side, because Scott was the residential kind of focus, and Steve really focused on the commercial. When it comes to, this, folks like other leaders inside Legrand should be able to step up and say, I can do that. We can kind of go down this road, and other leaders inside the company should be able to kind of rise.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the points he makes in the interview is that about further refining the alignment of the products across their different product lines, right? They do furniture, they do the racks, they have this gear. Really looking for people to step up. In any transition of a company, you want those folks to be able to take charge and not necessarily radically change how you're doing business, but advance it in a way that optimizes both the, I'm doing some PR speak here mostly, but you want to optimize, right? Optimize for the client and for yourself, take a drink, everybody. And so that alignment across brands, I think, is a very interesting thing. They've had these separate things. They've sort of said, here's a little rack that fits under a desk that, hey, we kind of make kind of stuff. But I'm really looking forward to how they further integrate those things. And I have some ideas of what that might be, but maybe it's more integration. Maybe it's more all-in-one packages, which would be kind of cool. Yeah. And we'll see where that goes. But yeah, definitely. Everybody's going to step up, and hopefully we'll see some good stuff from that.
Todd, Mr. Tucker makes a very good transition here for me, because that's where I was going with you. When it comes to the integration part, one thing that Legrand has done well is integrate all their parts and pieces. A number of years ago, they brought in Middle Atlantic, and then when they bought Milestone, it was quite interesting. And both from a standpoint of, a number of Legrand brands are underwriters of AVNation, right? These are the folks who help us financially. So we had an interest in that side, but also somebody who has used their product in the past. It was interesting to see Chief and Middle Atlantic specifically, right? We can part and piece, some of the other ones together, but those two companies specifically, and the way that their engineers and their product marketing team, their product engineers have kind of got together and really integrated and leveraged the strengths of each other to create some pretty remarkable and pretty unique products, I think is a testament to them, and also testament to the leadership. But when you look at this as an integrator, and you say, to Tuck's point, you're going to look at what these folks are going to be able to bring, and what Steve's going to be able to bring specifically going forward to a complete holistic package. Is that something that's attractive to you as an integrator? Getting more and more gear and more products from an integrator, or do you still want to kind of part and piece? I want to get this from this company and that from that company.
Well, the interesting thing about it is I've always used both of those manufacturers as my key go-tos. So the fact that they're coming together is actually very helpful for me. And both of them have always in the past kind of listened to everything that integrators have had to say. So we're looking for this particular piece. We can bring things into their engineering departments and say, hey, listen, can you develop a product for this? And I think that by working under Steve's helm here, that's only going to improve the whole process. He's been there for a long time, and I don't see that changing in terms of the leadership. Gives opportunity for someone else to rise to the occasion. Someone can be creative, come up with some new ideas. Bring some other valuable input to the table. But both of those brands have always been our key go-to brands.
Thanks so much for watching this first segment of AV Week. To see the rest of the episode for free, click on the link below or go by the website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.